Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. I'm going to make you the host so you can start admitting participants until 2.
Okay, perfect. I don't see anyone in the waiting room just yet.
Yeah, I had a feeling they're confused. No.
I wonder.
And Travis signed in SAC, but it's this section. But I don't see them. Hello, everyone. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Good. Are you having a good time? Yeah. Good. Good. Getting a little bit more the handle of the first semester and everything that entitles to.
Yeah, I've been trying to.
Yeah, it's hard. I can imagine. All right. We don't have everybody in here yet. I suggest that you try to come in on time. I will open the link at 1:45, as I mentioned before, and it will then be closed at 3:15. Questions about last week? No? Okay. I pretty much saw everybody's assignments. There were about 2 or 3 that they were a little bit over midnight, but not too much, like 2 or 3 minutes. We decided to do it at midnight because it is a more convenient time for you. Before, it was at 6 a.m. on the day of lecture. So I think if we do it at midnight on the day after lecture, we'll have a better success of getting all the assignments together on time. So let's see how that goes, and I'll keep you informed. So I'm gonna go over the materials for this week. What is it that we're gonna be doing? We're gonna learn everything that has to do with design. This is the week that we learn process design and how to, what is it that you need to consider to do a design. So this is the student view, just like you will have it in Canvas, as I understand. And remember to come here for the modules, right? I have updated the list for students ID. So if you don't know your student ID, you can go in there. If you join the class later, your name will appear at the end. Otherwise, it will be in alphabetical order. Okay. And now the week 2 is, you can see it. So let's go over what to expect for week 2. So as I say, we're going to do everything that relates to design process. We're going to learn what engineering specifications are, what is it, cosmetic needs, cosmetic design and characteristics. And by the end of it, I expect that you will be able to relate how your design is going to talk to the customer, right? What is it that the customer wants and how your robotics project is going to try to appeal to these kind of customers, right? So that's the main issue right now. We're gonna try to get you to understand how to design anything depending on the needs for either the customer or, in this case, the administration team, which is us, the TAs and us and I, or the stakeholders. Remember we said that this project is also going to be for K to 12 students. So you need to understand what is it that a student in that grade will like to have in a robot, right? So that's what we talk about customer needs. If you go to your materials and tasks, because you see it in here, there's going to be, I'm going to go over this lecture, and then there are 2 videos. So I'm going to play actually the first video, so you can go over it. This is one of the videos that talks about customer needs, and it's less than 2 minutes. So I'm going to play it so you can see it.
For customer needs, I
Can
can
you-
collect all my customer needs from the administrator.
Can you hear the video?
We can hear
Yeah.
it, but we can't see
All right,
it.
but not see it.
Oh, no, see it? I'm gonna go back.
For customer needs, I can derive all my customer needs from the
How about now?
administrative list that's provided in the letters of students.
You cannot see it still?
No.
Now you can see it. Okay, I'm gonna restart it.
For customer needs, I can derive all my customer needs from the administrative list that's provided in the letters of students. Let's say I'm a part of the microscope project. My core technology is the camera, and I'm going to focus on the camera's actual stability, how it sits on the microscope stand. So to make it a customer need, I'll toss it a weighting of 6. One of my subsystems is the adjustment mechanism of the microscope. Let's say that's pretty important, so I give it a weighting of 10. I think my customer will really care about how this looks, but not too much, so I give it a weighting of 3. Reliability and practicality are important, so I give reliability an 8 because I want to get a good grade. I give practicality a 5 because I want my customer to be able to make it. And I can add additional customer needs or whatever I want, so I'm going to add time here because I don't want to spend a tremendous amount of time on the project. You might add other customer needs as you see fit.
Okay, that's the first video. Let me go over the second one. Remember, you can actually watch these videos at home as well if you want to see them twice, or have as many times as you want.
All right, foundations, we're here to talk about customer needs, engineering specifications.
I could tell that you cannot see it. Let's see.
And really how they relate to cosmetic design, functional design, trying to kind of nail down the entire picture here. For those of you guys that are still struggling a little bit with this concept. So one of the first things we see for the course, if we look to the left of our video here, is our administrative needs. So these are being highlighted on the left side here. They're part of our letter to students. And these are opportunities for design from the perspective of the quote unquote CEO, which is myself. Okay, so I've outlined what some of the design opportunities are. And so each of these easily could become a customer need. Okay, from your perspective, these are things I'm asking you guys potentially for. So you might choose a few of these, and all you have to do to make it a customer need is add a weighting, right? Because if we look in the center kind of segment here of our screen, we have an explanation of what customer need is, right? And so it says, you know, basically anything that's being asked that the design has to do could be a customer need. Just assign it that weighting, and you're going to articulate what it is the customer's asking you to do. So I might use a translation directly from over here, and I might grab even just the terminology can be the same. So I can use technology as a key word here. And I could even provide a little bit more context. So let's say I'm part of the microscope project. So it maybe be improving the performance of the camera used for micro scale. So that might be extremely important to me, so in which case I might assign a weighting of, let's call it a 9. In addition, there could be other customer needs that are not even articulated through the administrative needs. So as another example, almost every project has low cost as a customer need. These are projects being developed for an end user. So that needs to reproduce the hardware, be able to use it for educational purposes. So low cost might be listed, and that might be considered also pretty important, but not as important as performance. Let's go ahead and
Okay, so this gives you an idea of how to select the customer needs. Let's go over some of those briefly.
for customer needs, I can.
Okay, so here, let me make it a little bigger. Okay, we're gonna post this as well, so you can see these are some of the lists that faculty have put on for your project. The video talks about the project for the microscope, and that has been the case for other semesters. Remember, for this semester, we are going to concentrate only in the robotics project. So you go over this need has defined here: technology, students design to address hardware-related challenges that are directly related to improving, preserving, or better implementing the core technology. Capability, feasibility, educational quality, beauty, right? Sometimes that's actually really important. Reliability, authenticity, practicality, simplicity, modularity. And once you go over these, then you can decide which of those you're going to select for your customer needs, okay? Now let's go back to the week as we have it. Today, we are also going to go over to the lab design processes, as you can see it out here. And on Thursday, we're going to have a jigsaw exercise. So I'm going to explain a little bit more what is it that you need to do to prepare for the jigsaw exercise.
So like you have to read beforehand the materials that you post for each week, and then it's based on what your number is, your unique number, so like if you're A, B, C, or etc., and you read what is assigned to you in addition to what is captioned as all, and then you like create your 3 points based on that. And when we come to class, because we couldn't do it all in the same group, now we're randomized in groups, and we discuss, and then we just share each other's points and add on what we might not have, and then put those 2 extra points in our document and then send it. So it's just, you know, accumulating more knowledge from other people's you know, research. And yeah.
Yes, it's actually a good way to discuss and to be able to express your point of view. If you think about what is it that we want to know, we want to relate to you as students. We want you to give you the tools that you will need for your engineering career. And some of them will be communication skills. So we are going to go over those. And the jigsaw exercises help to do that, help to discuss, help to listen to others' points of view, and as well as then to select if the information that you are receiving is correct or not. And if it's not correct, how to counteract that position or your position. So in this case, let's go over what is it the customer needs are, okay, for your project, or how can you select them. So one of the things we want to do is to divide it into, this is our design, this is what the customers need, this is how an engineer I can do, what is it that I can translate between the needs and the design. And then look at the cosmetic and functional designs separately, right? So cosmetic, what is it, the changes that really don't add to functionality, versus functional designs, which is like they are essential for your project to perform something, okay? Whatever you're planning to make it into it. So let's look at we're also going to look at a little bit the Tinkercad. That's for next week. You need to be prepared for that as well. So this is just a good joke that you've seen before. How do you define the need, right? This is one of the best cartoons in the United States. And it's, right, is it an opportunity? Is it something that you wanted to take into and to play to look better or to get a better advantage? Is it something that gives you a positive attitude? Well, is it something that the marketing department really wants? Is it something that as an engineer, you're going to have to listen to all ideas, and this is just a good joke on how to how sometimes these board meetings can actually go. The last one, I'll let you read that so you can go over this. It's essentially, what is it that your design needs? What are the requirements? How can you listen, and how can you put these into the requirements? So let's first define a stakeholder. So the stakeholder is anyone who's going to be interested in your product or your design. And they will actually judge if your project is successful or if it's not going to sell. So in this case, will be the administration team. That will be the TAs and myself and other faculty. The students that you're going to gear your project to, right? We give you some specifications. So that's another way to see the customer as a stakeholder. And the College of Engineering, because at some point we're going to present this to the whole College of Engineering. So they will also be able to judge your design. And remember this figure in here, right? This is the design project steps. Identify customer needs, set the target specifications, search externally and internally, concept generation, concept selection, concept testing, and then set the final specifications. And all of these have are related to the mission statement. So just remember this figure, right? You're gonna use this figure very often. Here are the stakeholder needs, just like in that list. I show you that list because the project or the video talks about the list in the letter. You didn't get that letter because we changed coordinators, but I'm still gonna post that letter with the specifications so you can see it. But they are also listed here in the presentation that is posted on week 2. So technology, capability, feasibility, these are things that your project needs. Educational quality, of course, because you are going to address these to students that are still in the school system. Beauty, if you design something that is not appealing, even though it can do everything that you ask that specific project to do, it's not going to sell, right? You actually had to look at the artistic points of view of your customers and assign some value. Reliability. Who wants a toy that you just put it together and it breaks within hours, right? That's actually has happened to me, and it's not very pleasant. So reliability is very important in design process. Authenticity, because you as an engineer, you're creating something new. This will give you the authenticity for that. Okay, so how do you identify the customer needs? Well, you had to ask what is it that the cost, if you put yourself in the position of a customer, what is it that you like? You would like it to be safe, pretty much, to have a low cost, durability, and you can pick whatever you think the customer will need in your design. You may pick other additional customer needs. So just think about it. Also, the stakeholder will have, because we're going to be deciding, right, if this project is actually good. Think like if you were in the other side. If you were the faculty, what is it that as a faculty member you would like to see? If you were the TA, what is it that you would like to see as the TA? And then the way that we actually look at the customer needs is with the weights, right? Are you going to give it too much weight to beauty, but not too much weight to technology, right? Why would you do that? Technology it will have probably the highest weight because you want your robot to work. You want it to perform an action, and you wanted someone to be interested in it. So the weight of technology is probably going to be really high. Beauty is important, but it's not as important as technology. So decide first, look at all the list of the customer needs that you have, and then decide which one is the highest and which one is the lowest. And then in between, then you pick numbers to give the weight for the other ones that are in between the range that you selected originally, okay? These weights are going to be important because they will actually give you we have a formula that I'll show you how to use it, that will give you a way to select how important this is. As the video mentions, you're going to have to list the customer needs and the weights first on that specific picture. And then these weights are going to also give you what is called the target specifications for your design. So translate what are the needs with what are the requirements in your design. What is it that a good criteria will give you so that your design will actually sell, or that your design will actually be appealing, right? Of course, the examples that we have here, they're examples for other projects, but think about it, right? If you have a robot that is going to be $100 and is competing with other robots from the class, which they cost less than $10, then your project is going to be in disadvantage because of that, right? So think about what would be a good criteria to set these specifications. What are the needs and how you're going to design it to make it that connection. That's actually, there's a whole theory about that we can see later on. So in the example that we had before, a client requests that the team designs an engine with a horsepower that will be 600 HP at 8,000 revolutions per minute for a price below current market value. So identify what will be the target value. So first, the metric would be, in this case, that the rotations of the engine will be about 8,000 RPMs. Search externally and internally so that you can actually get to establish your ideas through research. Has anybody done this before? Do some literature search, see if there are any other robots that are competing with what you have. What is it that they offer has cosmetic design. Look at how they, how they put the tires, the top, the colors. All of these are important in the cosmetic design. You don't want to pick a color that will look like vomit, for example, right? Because then it will relate the person who is going to get it to, wow, that doesn't look good. You're going to pick a color that is actually appealing. So think about the cosmetic design that you want to have in your project. This is important because it's also going to be for the students from elementary and middle schools. So think about what colors they like, right? So they may like the very bright colors. One of the most important parts of the design is the functional design. This is what is it that it's going to do? And we have outlined it, all the design and requirements for your project in week 1. So go back, make a list of what is it that your robot needs to do, and then from that relate how is that going to work with the functional design. As we mentioned it before, you're going to be working with teams. So the team will actually give you this power of brainstorming. You will have time to discuss the different designs, and you will be able to do some search and look at what would be the best thing to do to solve a problem, troubleshooting. So the concept generation in this case for the process design is to look at how can you make the design that you are thinking about it much better, and what would be something that, what would be the candidate for that design. So another joke, this is again, Dilbert, and it's just it's a positive joke, right? Smart people like it, and then he's asked, well, what do you think? Assuming that he's not one of the brightest person, but that's from the point of view of the person who's asking, right? Anyway, the concept selection is another of these steps where you will select what design you want depending on what the stakeholders tells you, and how you're gonna make a design, and you're gonna see, is this good? You're gonna present it. We're gonna have some dates for presentation. You're gonna come here and then have your design 1, 2, and 3, and then we're gonna give you some feedback. So in that case, you're gonna take into consideration that information from the stakeholders, and you are gonna go back and revise the design to make it better, right? That's the whole thing. And this is pretty much how process design works also in industry. This is the formula I was telling you about, the weighted benefit analysis. So once that you know what are the weights for the different customer needs, that you also signed for a specific concepts. For the concept number 1, for example, the first design that you have, the second design, and then you see if that design actually gets to what the customer needs. So in this case, the design the students have for the first time, it had maybe a 2 for what it was safety, but your weight, you gave it a weight of safety very high, right, at 8. So you are going to be able to calculate all of these weighted benefit analysis depending on what the weight is and what your 2 designs are, and what is it that these designs actually comply to, what are the requirements. We're going to go over these in a little bit more detail as well, some more examples later on so you can actually see. But this is a good example, and you can download this form. This is in the presentation. You can download it and save it separately. So if in this case you have 5 different designs, Remember, this is a customer need for the different, the way that you give to the different customer needs. And then at the end, you will be able to calculate with that formula, what is the WBA. And that will, at the end, will tell you, oh, this is actually the best design because this actually fits what my customer needs. So then you're gonna set the final specifications. This is, at the end, you're gonna go back and say, these are the requirements, this is my design, and how is that actually gonna fit? So that's gonna be a very important step. You're gonna have to go over the design and get a project that will fit all the requirements. So for next week, we're gonna have again, for next class, I'm sorry, another jigsaw activity. We're gonna try to do it with your letter. So the sign readings are still gonna be what your sign readings are, depending on the letter of your student ID number. And then after that, then you're going to be able to discuss in class. So you remember seeing the this is the form that we used last time. There are 5 boxes, right? 5 boxes. From the 5 boxes at home, you're gonna do the reading, and then you're gonna answer 3, the first 3. When you come, then you're gonna answer the last 2 when we put you in the different breakout rooms. What is it that you are assigned to read? So everybody reads what is defined for the process, the design process, the engineering design process. Everybody reads this part, the mission statement. The letters A are gonna concentrate on customer needs. The numbers that end with B are gonna concentrate on engineering specifications. The ones that do end with C, they will go over the internal and external search. Of course, you can read all of them, right? This is just for the assignment. You are welcome to read all of them. This is just, you have to concentrate on one of them. So for step 4 would be concept generation. The letter E would be concept selection. Letter F, concept testing. G, the final specifications. Again, everybody reads the last part that relates to the different phases. H, the individuals with H will go over the individual phase, concentrate on that. The letters that, the numbers that end with I will do the design phase. And the ones that end with J will do the fabrication phase. This is the first assignment. The other assignment is to go over this paper, the interdisciplinary product design education paper. And in the list that we have out here, we actually, this, for the assignment, it tells you, right? Everybody reads the abstract. The ones with the letter A read the introduction and background. The ones with the letter B, educational needs. From that paper, then you go over the different sections. And again, you had to do the first 3 boxes and then come to class, and then we'll do the other ones. Questions? Brianna, can you help me to answer the questions?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess this is a more of a simple question, but we find our student letters a people group under in our Canvas page?
Yes. So go
Okay.
back, go home, right? Go to modules. And this is the first one. Before you begin, customer roster, student ID. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
click on it.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Voila. Then you have your name and your student ID.
Right. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Another question.
Yeah, I have a question. Are we still to use Microsoft Word instead of template?
You can absolutely. You don't have to
Okay,
use the
thank you.
PDF file. You can use the other one. Yes.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Zach.
So are we doing like two separate jigsaw assignments, one for the presentation, one for the interdisciplinary paper?
No, the if you look at the assignment, right? So you have letters to go over the different ones, but then the paper actually asks you. Where's my paper again? Let me go back to the jigsaw. So for the two things that you read, they are related, right? In one case, we put that outside in the presentation and we outline it this way, but also you have the whole paper. So you're gonna go over the three boxes and say, write down the first major point to share about your reading assignment. So from all the things you read, what is it that you consider to be the major point? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
And then go over the first two questions like that. Okay.
Dr. Alcantar, to confirm, is it the first 2 points from the PowerPoint and then the third one is from the article?
No, so it's like from all the things that you read, what is it that you gain the best?
Or like all together? Oh, okay, thank you.
I had a question in regards to my number. I was looking at the list, and I know you mentioned like the newer students are at the bottom, but I did check the list, and I'm not on the list at all. If I can get some help with that.
Well, Steven, you must be really new. Is that right?
I was, but
You must have joined after Thursday. Is that correct?
yeah, they put me in on the class on Friday.
Okay, that's why I haven't gone to the new list. If you see, that's up to the Thursday. So do me a favor and send me an email so I can add you to the list.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
All right. If you, for the article, we have that list, but I also have this one that actually shows with a marker what the sections are for each letter. So I can upload this and then you can see it. If that will help, to minimize your doubts and questions and concerns. Is that good? Okay. All right. So let me go back to, we're gonna do some interactive activities. I'm gonna let you sign into Webex. Everybody, please sign in. I'm sorry, that's very loud. All right, and you should see the meeting. Are you able to connect? Everybody? Can you raise your hand if you are not connected yet? Okay. So the ID code is, let me show you. It's the same that we have before. That has not changed yet. So the meeting ID is 152-603-761. And the passcode is Alcantar. Oh, no, I'm sorry, ALC, the first three letters of my last name, dash FOL 20. The first three letters are capitalized, as well as the first letter of the word FOL. Okay, everybody? Can I see hands if you are still having trouble connecting? Okay. All right. So again, this is week 2. It's all about design process. We'll have the jigsaw exercise and it will cover the design process steps so that you will be able to articulate customer needs. It will include engineering specifications, how to generate a weighted benefit analysis, cosmetic needs. That means what are the characteristics of the cosmetic design, and then the cosmetic design and its characteristics, each aspect of the engineering design process. Okay. So I have done today announcements. I went over the jigsaw activity, and also the second part of the breakout rooms will have a group reflection exercise. So I'm gonna go through the steps so you can actually see how this is gonna work. First of all, everybody should have completed the pre-survey. If you did not complete the pre-survey by last Friday, this was the assignment that we had to do, please raise your hand. And this is Zoom allows you to raise your hand. There's an option down below that says raise your hand. You can raise your hand and I can actually see it out here. So the TAs can see it and we can identify you. If you did not do the design, please raise your hand. The survey. This was an assignment for last Friday. Everybody? Excellent. I don't see any hands. Anyone? Nope. Okay. Alik? You raised your hand? You didn't do it?
Oh, well, I'm also a new student. I joined like on Friday.
Okay. All right, so.
I'm like looking at it right now, so I'm just trying to find it.
Okay. All right, maybe you can connect with one of our TAs, or you can connect during my office hours, or send me if you want another appointment, and we can go over these assignments that you made.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Most of you must have purchased the project kit or the parts, the components. Please make sure you do that. We're not gonna need it until week 4, but it's important that you start looking at what is needed for that. And then I'm gonna go over how to create a Tinkercad account. This is not needed until next week, but it's important that you bring it or you start working on it. Remember, there are 7 steps and a mission statement for the design process, right? The first step is the customer needs. The second step is the engineering target specs. The third step is the internal and external search. Fourth is the concept generation. The fifth is the concept selection. The sixth is the concept testing. And finally, the specs for the design process review. So you're gonna go over this before class. Then we're gonna assign you to the breakout rooms. When you are in the breakout room, you're gonna be able to essentially talk to others about what is it that you learn during your assigned reading assignment. You will share also your individual main points, right? Which one you consider it was more important, which is the second one, etc. And then you're gonna do a reflection on the activity. So once that you are divided, the first exercise of the jigsaw is called the expert groups, right? That means that everybody who had read with the letter 8, they have concentrated on that specific topic, so you know all about it. So when you discuss that with your other peers, they know all about it, and you will be able to have a really meaningful discussion. What is your main points? Clarify any misconceptions, reinforce important concepts, okay? Then you come back to us and we're gonna do a check on you, like, you know, what is it that you learn, what is it that you understand, and then we're gonna do it again. So we're gonna send you again to another breakout room, where then you're gonna do the last 2 parts, which is the additional concept. In this one, now you're not in the expert, you are not all the A's, you are not all the B's, you are not all the C's, right? Everybody is mixed up, and then what you can do is ask questions for clarification, take notes, etc. So you go to the breakout room again and you discuss all of this with your group. Sometimes you can steal the question, you're gonna select one of the questions from 1 to 8. This is the points that you went over. And then you are gonna come back and said, you know, we discussed this specific point, but I don't think I agree with that. And then you can actually express that opinion here, okay? So this is gonna be for next class. And then for next week, you're gonna have this assignment on Tinkercad. So this is in preparation of that. You're gonna create an account on Tinkercad. So it's gonna be www.tinkercad.com. This is gonna allow you to create 3D objects with very simple shapes, to express your ideas, do some cosmetic design, see perspective, rotation, translation, that sort of thing is what you will learn in this project. This presentation is also uploaded. It's just, you will see in a different view, but it's also uploaded on there. So let's start some polls, okay? I wanna know if you can recognize who is a stakeholder for your robotics project. So you are connected to Bebox. You will be able to select the administration team members, the football team members, or the people in another Zoom meeting. I should have music here. Okay, 66, 8, 4 more. 3. Remember, this Bebox assignment also counts as attendance because I'll be able to see who is responding. So please make sure you answer all the questions. It is attendance. Okay, 2 more. One more. Oh, somebody heard attendance and then sign in. Okay, I'm gonna close the poll and then we'll go to the next one. So let's see, closing. Yes, thank you. The administration team members is part of the stakeholders. Okay, the next question is, in the design process used in EGN 3000 lab, this one, which is adapted by Ulrich and Penger, how many steps are outlined in there? Is it 1, is it 2, is it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Is it 1 an mission statement? Is it 2 an mission statement? Is it 3 an mission statement? Is it 4 an mission statement? Is it 5 an mission statement? Is it 6 an mission statement? Or is it 7 an mission statement? Okay. This shouldn't take more than 5 seconds. So I'm going to leave it open for 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Close it. 7. Whoever pick 4, 5, and 6, they're missing some. Okay, 7 an omission statement. I just went over that, literally. Okay. The next one is pick 3 customer needs for your robotics project as explained in the video. I believe you can pick all 3, or if you cannot pick more than 3, just pick one of the 3 that are in that list. You can pick all 3, that's great. But if you cannot pick all of them or all 3 that are in the list, just pick one of them. All right. Somebody picked love as, unfortunately, that's not one of the customer needs we discussed today. Or interests or profit. We discussed technology, capability, and educational quality. Okay, below is a list of the administrative needs as listed in the video. And just select your favorite one. Which of those is your favorite? All right. I think my favorite is practicality. I like to buy things that are practical. And that's probably one of the ones that I give more weight. If there's something practical that it will help me to do better things than something else, like the size of the, the chargers for your phone, the extra batteries, those that are really small or really thin, those are very practical. I like that. All right, so let me close that poll. Reliability, that's very good. That's actually, most of you selected that, 30%. Second place, practicality, okay. Technology is tied with beauty. And then everybody else pick a little bit. There's no right or wrong in this one, so. Okay, there is a right answer for this one. Select the title that corresponds to the description for an administrative need. That is, a student should design for an appropriate and generally high amount of robustness so that the design is durable and well assembled. What is that? Is that belongs to technology, beauty, practicality, reliability, or simplicity? All right. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay. See. 90% of you picked reliability, which is the correct answer. Okay, reliability has to do with robustness, durability, and well assembled. Okay. All right, so we're done with that. Let me go back in here. So let me share this again so we can continue with. So I hope you have now an idea of what is it that is going to be included in your reading material for next class. And here you can find the links for the templates for the jigsaw exercise. And then the presentation that I went over last class, it has that as well. Now, if you look at it in your assignments, or you look at it in here in material in assignments for this time, for week 2, this is a very detailed description of what is needed. I think it is very self-described on what is it that you need to do, what are your assigned reading for the paper, where to find the paper, how to read the presentation that I just went over it, etc. Okay. At the end of next class, you are going to come to class. You're going to have breakout rooms. You're going to fill up the last 2 points, and then you're going to submit it. And we're going to give you until Thursday at midnight to submit it. Okay. And that's it for this week. Remember, next week on Monday we have it's Labor Day, so Have you seen anything in the schedule that is interesting, exciting? Anyone can tell me anything about it? Did you look at the schedule? What is happening? We have no class on Tuesday. Even though Labor Day is on Monday, we're giving you Tuesday as well, okay? So we will only have class on Thursday, when we will go over the Tinkercad tutorial, and we will ask you again if you have finished with the components of your project kit. There's no class on Tuesday. No questions? Nope. Everything is clear, crystal clear? Yes? Very good. So I hope you're having a good week. This is your second week at USF. For some of you, this is the very, very, very first semester. I hope it's going well. And I'll see you on Thursday. We finished early today. I like that. Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you. Have a good day.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.